First pitch of ball, and you saw just how much movement that pitch had on it. Logan Taylor hitting 275. 2-0, down a little bit.
He's going to need that call there because that ball has a lot of action behind the plate. Troy Fullwood better stay with that pitch.
See Rivera after that second pitch. The old attaboy right when it hits your glove.
Yep.
And you go, oh, hold on. Waiting to hear something from behind you, and Mike Rivera didn't hear anything.
It's good insight. One of the ways the catcher tries to get the umpire on their side. Three and one, and again you can see just how hard that ball moves with a two-seamer.
That's an uncomfortable swing on a 3-1 pitch.
3-2. Logan Taylor can get on. He likes to go. He's got 22 stolen bases on the season, but he's not going to get on.
But now you've seen the stuff. I mean, it's going to be 92 to 95. We've already been as high as 95. We could show you a little bit more tonight. Brady Singer, the highest drafted player 2 years ago to get to college. It is electric stuff. It is in the mid-90s. I think as this game goes on, though, you got to make sure you slow the mental pace a little bit when Louisville gets on base, because they will test him at that point. Haven't seen the slider yet. 6 pitches, 6 fastballs, but the slider is a plus pitch itself.
Lefty Colby Fitch, as Eduardo talked about, hitting in the 2 spot for the Cardinal. Fitch Jr. at 5'11", 205.
See the average. The average is not that high, but he's just a streaky hitter. You cannot forget about him. Look at the on-base percentage. There's a difference, a 115-point difference between the average and that on-base percentage. If you're wondering at home, that's good. Anything over 100 differential, it's very good. Patience at the plate.
Everybody's sporting the platinum blonde. It's associated with the Louisville program. Down a little bit. 2-1. Colby Fitch, just think about the way that Dan McDonald puts his team together. He looks at Fitch as kind of a Schwarber-like, not necessarily a prototypical 2-hitter. And he keeps his thunder there at 4 and 5. That one is to third. Good hop, and India throws across the diamond for the out.
Yeah, it's not exactly prototypical. Colby Fitch has pretty good power. He has 11 home runs on the year. He doesn't run great. In fact, of all the guys in this lineup, he may run the worst. But they like the feeling of Evan Fitch in the 2-hole. McKay in the 4 spot, Ellis in the 5 spot. Won a lot of games with this lineup.
It's one thing about Louisville. Follow college baseball at all. You know, since McDonald got there, they're amongst the winningest programs in the country.
All fastballs.
It's not that. It's all fastballs, but all fastballs with action. And then you have the shadows to go along with it. It's not a true 4-seam fastball. A lot more difficult to pick up and see.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, there's no need to throw the breaking pitch right now. You'd be doing him a favor.
Yep.
Elevated right there with the motion. Watch this from the umpire's point of view. Oh man, just trying to saw. He's fortunate he doesn't have a wood bat in his hand right now. That's a lot of life.
Yeah, he'd be grabbing another one.
Splinters. Goodbye. That was pretty quick. We got ourselves a pitcher's duel through one. Singer matches McClure, and we're underway. Nighttime in Omaha, Florida and Louisville. Each trying to go to. And Eric Neander, their general manager, is going to join us in just a little bit to talk about McKay, what they think is in store for him when he starts his professional career. Because there's really 2 choices. And maybe there's a 3rd choice. At some point, are we going to see, Eddie, a pitcher that they allow to DH or even play in the field on certain days? Is that coming?
The good thing is this. It's that it was an American League team that did draft him. So you could see him DHing. You could see him playing first on the days that he does not pitch. Again, it's going to be interesting because the numbers when he does pitch and hit at the same time are completely different than what you see when he just plays first base. It's a grind, the big league season. It's going to be interesting the way the Rays handle it and the way he accepts it.
He hit that one on the nose, but Dalton Guthrie is there, and McKay is retired.
You watch the swing, and it works. This swing works. It's tight to his body throughout, and he just swings, and that bat head stays in the zone long enough. Watch the action. Good throughout. Bottom hand used well. The top hand release point at the end. He just stays in the big part of the ballpark. Understands how to get that barrel to the ball.
You talk to Louisville players about McKay, and they call him a unicorn. They're like these guys don't exist the way that he is. And he's really been that way since he showed up.
So again, Eric Neander, the general manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, in a few minutes. Drew Ellis bats now, the third baseman, batting 5. He does just about everything for them offensively. He can run. He's got 20 home runs, 61 RBIs. He slugged .720. Hit that one hard. Shortstop, tough play, but Guthrie.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Beautiful.
Defensively, Dalton Guthrie has shown you some highlight reel plays this year at shortstop. He had his own highlight reel the weekend that they played Georgia, just from those 3 games alone. He does that every play. So he's almost airborne when the pitch comes all the way in, lands right before it does, and that time gives a little bit more ground than you'll see sometimes. Gave him a little bit more time. Watch him field this ball almost behind him. Just a little bit more time to read the hop, then plenty of time to throw Ellis out.
All right, Eric Neander, the GM of the Rays, joins us now. We got 2 outs here, so we'll try to be quick, and maybe Eric stays with us. So you just saw McKay, I assume, ground out. Eric, thanks for joining us. Quickly, assuming we don't get an out on this pitch, tell me what you thought about the draft, why you went with McKay where you did.
Firm ground out. Firm ground out. Yeah, we were thrilled based on the evaluations and all the hard work of our staff to have the opportunity to select Brandon 4th overall. And, we a unique situation for somebody that Brendan, our staff, thought as a pitcher and as a position player was the top of the draft candidate. So, the way we looked at it, there aren't many guys that have made it to this point in their career where that can be said about them, if any, in recent memory. And we don't know enough about how this is going to play out to try to take one of those 2 things away from him prematurely. We recognize the physical challenges of it, the mental challenges, et cetera, and if we are able to get him signed and get him into our organization, we'll be cognizant of all that. But he certainly has proven capable to this point, and want to see where it goes from here.
Devin Hairston with a single, this one on the ground. So we'll ask Eric to stay with us during the break. We'll come back. Eric, you hang with us for a while? Oh, no doubt you can see it from there. Pretty good pitcher's duel as the bottom of the 3rd starts. Brady Singer's got a 1-0 lead. Josh Stores to be followed by Jake Snyder. We're at 8-9 and then 1 for Logan Taylor. Pick up that conversation because you guys both went to college and then you were both drafted. What's your thought on it, Eddie?
I would actually treat the position players from high school just like they do right now, but the pitchers, I treat them differently. I try to get and emulate as much as possible the college program. Sign a kid from high school, put him on that college program as a professional if you sign him. And you pretty much use them for those 3 months out of the year. They can pitch competitively, but the rest of the time they're training. They're getting ready. You rotate them in and out. You shorten their season up. I think 5 months plus all the throwing and spring training, the additional stuff and extended spring training is too much. I think they get fatigued. That's my personal opinion on it, just to try to get those arms healthy. There's no reason to try to overdevelop at such a young age. You're not going to get them in the big leagues until 4 or 5 years after.
Yeah. Well, and because of that, instead of, aside from the top line guys, okay?
Right.
And I was talking to Scott Boras about this a few years ago, and I thought that the idea was a very, very good idea. It's essentially, from a business standpoint, if you limited the draft to 2 rounds of high school and that's it, everybody else had to go to college. You go to junior college, you go to 4-year college, whatever. And then the rest of the draft is only college kids. Your efficiency from a major league standpoint and the percentage that you're right goes way up. Because when you look at the percentage of high school guys that have success, once you get past the 4th, 5th, 6th round, It's minuscule.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever do it, but I would tell you that I think it would give you a better read. And from a return on investment, I think the return on the investment at the major league level would be significantly better.
You know, there are two schools of thought with the college programs. Is that one side says, well, you get into a program and you're in one of the better programs, and they take care of you. You have the facilities to work out. There's nutrition. They monitor you. And then the other side will tell you that sometimes they don't have the best interest of the individual in mind. They have the best interest of the program in mind, which sometimes flies in the face of the other.
And the most important part is the maturity level that you have. Forget about the physical part, though, but the mental part, the experience part. Going to a classroom, being responsible, being around your peers, and again, getting that education.
Yeah, let's not forget about that.
Getting the education itself. These are student athletes. They're out there competing, but not only on the field, but in the classroom.
Well, let me ask you this. Is that different for a baseball player versus other sports? Because let's be honest, in other sports, the classroom, and by the admission of some of the athletes, isn't something they're too interested in doing. Now, the requirement of college, you go for 3 years.
Or you're 21 at the draft. Yeah, one or the other.
Does that make it more of a quote-unquote student athlete than perhaps other sports?
You got to be eligible for 3 years. I mean, I think, yeah. I think it's fair. Mr. Singer, by the way, looks pretty good today.
Yeah, if you like the 4 strikeouts, the fastball and the slider, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, there's life, and he's ahead in all these guys. Yes. You look at it, the fly ball's 0. It's 4 ground outs and 4 strikeouts. Talk about having a nice balance.
Ball that's out. 1 and 2.
Logan Taylor was the first strikeout victim. He led things off. The senior from Lexington spoils one there. Eddie, does the delivery of a Singer as a hitter, I mean, it's almost like he's gone from 0 to 100, and you got to be real ready once he starts, because he delivers it quick.
You have to have your load early when you use your back leg. Right there, too late. You cannot pick that up. Then you have to rush. If that slider would have been appearing like a fastball and then disappearing down and away, he would have tried to hold his swing back. You have to be early, especially how quick he is, rocking back and getting into a set position.
So Taylor down to first walk for Brady Singer. Now Colby Fitch. All right, here's your 3-2. He's gone. Headed to first. He goes back to the dugout. Cardinals hitters. Dan McDonald's team is now going to have to play from not only behind, but way behind. Very efficient 41 pitches. And if you're striking guys out, you're going to have that go up a little bit higher. But the first pitch to Devin Mann is in there for a swinging strike. Check that, Colby Fitch.
Oh! 1-1. Oh, that's it. 2-1.
Singer had been down a little bit at the SEC tournament against Arkansas. It's almost as if they knew what the heck was coming. He threw 1 inning, and they jumped him for 7 hits, 11 batters, 8 runs. This one to left. Langworthy didn't see it right off the bat. Now he finds it, and he's there for the out. 1 down.
Okay, so we talk sometimes about balls coming out of the same window. Watch this from Brady Singer. So on the left is a fastball. We're going to stop it about right there. Now on the right is a slider. We're going to stop it at almost the exact same spot. So as a hitter, now we got to make a decision. Which one's going which way? And for Singer, what makes it so tough is from that point, everything looks the same until it gets there. Slider, down and away. That fastball has that boring action in towards the right-handed hitter. Tonight, 45 pitches, 80% fastballs so far. He's been efficient, and he's filled up the zone with both.
The Cardinals just sent half their team out to the bullpen. See them all filing in. Singer has thrown 80% fastballs tonight. There's a little backdoor slider that came in on the front hip. Real hard pitch to execute. Usually it's not what they're trying to do, but it's one of the more effective pitches for a pitcher. On the ground, shortstop, Guthrie. 2 down. It's amazing what a 4-run lead can do to you, how it relaxes you.
I'll tell you the other thing is I think it allows them to keep a little bit more in the tank. So everything doesn't feel like it needs to be absolute max effort with every pitch. Singer's gone deep into a lot of ball games this year. I mean, over the course of the season, he has 3 complete games. That's all the complete games that Florida has as a staff. So he's learned how to get to that point of a ball game. And when you have to exert and go max effort, when you can keep a little bit more because you might need it in the 8th and 9th.
Well, it has to do with the movement that he has on that fastball. He's learned at a young age to be able to pitch the contact, and you got to give a lot of credit to Kevin O'Sullivan for that. Super Regionals came in after a rain delay through 4 brilliant innings, then came back through 2 brilliant innings again in the Super Regionals to get them to where they are now.
His numbers in the Supers are kind of silly. 6 innings, albeit broken up innings and bullpen innings, but 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, no walks. Quick work of Mr. McKay.
My boy Donnie.
So the story behind that is very well regarded too in the industry, not only at the collegiate level, but in other levels as well, all the way up to the major leagues. Nasty from Singer. He strikes out another one, his 7th strikeout.
That's action. That's action, and that right there unfair. We're talking about a 93-mile-per-hour pitch. You're a right-handed hitter. You see it right there, and then all of a sudden it just dives in on you. Watch this angle. Tough to pick up with the rotation because of the shadows, and then to add on at the velocity at 93 with that movement.
Always going to move. The difference is it flat or is it moving plane? Because if it's moving plane, it's a thanks for coming night. Because he can live on that 2-seam fastball for most of the ball game, and the slider is a real major league quality pitch. That one kind of cast on him a little bit. No, he didn't much mind.
Beaten into the ground, charged by Lippett for the out, and another efficient inning for Brady Singer as he slide or collision. Austin Hedges behind the plate for the Padres. Major League Baseball came down on the side of the Padres, said that the Rizzo slide was illegal, that he was creating contact. Rizzo still playing for the Cubs, and tonight hits another leadoff home run for them.
Would have been foul for fair.
He has set 11 in a row down. Who was it? Schwartz that earlier this year broke one of the bats?
Broken half.
Yeah.
A metal bat in half.
Really?
Vanderbilt. Yeah. She started helicoptering out into the infield. You got to realize this is a really good offense that he's facing tonight. Louisville, over the course of the season, they've played 3 less games, scored 100 more runs than Florida.
You know what that tells you? Pitching dominates hitting. Good pitching can dominate any type of hitting.
Well, it looks like this, it does.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chokehold tonight. Louisville has not been shut out this season. They've played 63 games. They haven't been shut out. That one over the head of Dalton Guthrie and into left field. Good piece of hitting by the 9-hitter Jake Snyder. Dustin Pedroia does at the major league level. Bottom of the strike zone for a strike. That ball is driven to center field. Ryan Larson there to make the play. 2 down.
And we talked about the movement of the feet of Dalton Guthrie. And watch him right here at shortstop. Always with that little hop. gets in position, feet always moving, and he funnels everything towards the middle. Again, you see it right here. Look at the footwork, the patience, knowing exactly who the runners are. Love this about him. I see a lot of shortstops that are flat-footed, and that first step doesn't work. Again, always moving on any pitch, every pitch at all time. That's why this kid, Dalton Guthrie, won the 7th round to the Phillies. 6th round to the Phillies.
6 feet 185, and that ball that just went over his head. Was only the 2nd hit of the night for Louisville. Now Colby Fitch. You can also see Brady Singer in the way he's delaying and sometimes hesitating with his pitches to make sure that Schneider doesn't drift too far off first base and become a threat to steal. It's a team that has stole 97 bases on the season. 70 home runs for Louisville on the year. Check swing, and it's going to go foul.
Yes, yes.
Dan McDonald was telling us today too about how college baseball is very regional in their way that they recruit players. You look at Florida's roster, and it's made up almost primarily of players from the state of Florida. Louisville likes to blanket the Midwest. Fitch center field and tailing away from Larson. He's not going to get it to third base. Good pitch, and he's ahead 0-2.
Stay here, stay here.
Man struck out and grounded out to short. Colby Fitch is not a real threat to run at first base. The 0-2 in the dirt. Nice job by Rivera, man. That's a run if it gets by him.
Moved like a cat on that one to his right. That's the only thing he could do. Backhanded. He can't get in front of this. Watch how he sees it. Backhands it. He's fortunate to go right in that pud.
Pud. I like that. I hadn't heard that in a while.
It's been a while.
And that pud.
Oh, no.
It's down. Good spot, but down.
2-2. Go down.
Got to stay on that mound.
Yeah, that type of play Rivera made, you ask for clean games. That's a run if he doesn't stop it. And it will probably not even be remembered when the game is over. 2-2 on the corner. He strikes him out. McKay and that guy right there. Likely a top 5 pick next year by some team.
Did he go?
Ripped, and that ball was absolutely hammered by McKay as he sends it to right. Takes a wide turn, and he's going to keep going. He puts some pressure on Maldonado, and he's in there, safe at second base.
This is great hitting and smart base running. If you look at right here, pitch right down the middle. This is fundamentally sound swing. Staying behind, perfectly done. But getting out of the box, he knows it's right field, and he understands that Maldonado's hurt with that shoulder. He's going to test it. Slips a little bit there, but easy. Maldonado's just lobbing the baseball in. Flips it right there, drops it, and just watch this. He has nothing on that shoulder right now.
I'm surprised he's in there defensively. I'm surprised he's still in there.
So am I. But we were 2 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it 2 days ago, but you're up 5-0 late, and I think defense now clearly plays a premium.
Sure does. Now Drew Ellis bats. He pulls that one foul. This is, again, though, just watching McKay and the balance and the power in that swing is the conundrum that the Rays are going to face, because you don't find left-handers that throw the way he does growing on trees either.
It just feels like, though, in our discussion earlier today, I don't know that there is a conundrum right now.
Well, right now there's not.
I think you let him play, and if it becomes a choice, it means that both of them have worked fairly well.
Is there a Madison Bumgarner sort of component to this, where we see what he does when he hits, which is not often, but when he hits home runs? McKay seems like a very polished
he can just hit
hitter.
I mean, there's very good power. He has 17 on the year, but this year there's been a significant jump up in power.
I'll tell you what I do. I let him hit.
Yes,
I put the pitching in the back burner.
Right here. Yes, he got you with the ball. He got you.
I would bet that they do the balance of this year. I mean, given the innings that he's thrown and the innings that he's thrown the past 3 years, I think you just let him hit.
Guys, the reason Brendan McKay throws left-handed is hilarious. He has 2 older sisters, Jennifer and Heather, who played softball, and he was trying as a child to mimic the underhand softball throwing motion, but he saw everyone doing it right-handed. So when he was mimicking it in the mirror, he was trying to make it look the same, ended up doing it left-handed just as a result of that. He said otherwise, he probably wouldn't have thrown left-handed.
That's a good story, Laura. That's a good story.
The amount of dads who are going to be forcing their 4-year-olds
in the mirror
to hold a softball in the mirror over the next 2 weeks will be astounding. This will get you taken 4th overall. You're going to do it again.
Buy big mirror. Check.
Yes.
Get softball. Check.
Well, they lived in a neighborhood there in Ohio in which the backyard just was not big enough, basically, to hold Brendan McKay. So Dad would come home from work, and every night Brendan would say, Dad, let's go across the street where they had a big park. And they'd say, let's hit and pitch. Let's hit and pitch. Let's hit and pitch. And they probably at that point had about 10 or 12 baseballs. So he would, of course, hit them, 100 yards away. They would go pick up the 10 baseballs and start the process all over again until dark. And his dad and mom said, look, I still work. One's a bank teller, the other employed, said, I gotta work. In spite of the fact that our son was just drafted, we gotta go. We got jobs to do. 4th overall pick again, and he's collecting trophies.
Yeah, he's already won the Dick Hauser Award, which is one of the 2 main National Player of the Year awards. One of 4 finalists for the Golden Spikes, and I would say the favorite to win that one as well.
Dad Bruce is a contractor. His mom Kim is a bank teller. Still got to work.
Well, that check that's coming from the Rays is just handed over to Mom.
Still drive the same car they bought in high school, and they have taken him all over the world when it comes to playing in tournaments. Actually bought that car before high school. So all those junior tournaments, they would drive up and down the Midwest, East Coast, anywhere that there was a baseball game for Brendan McKay to play, he played, and they were the ones that were there for him.
What about?
And that's not unique to the McKay family. On the ground, that one is going to get through. Here comes McKay around 3rd. Remember, Maldonado's shoulder is hurt. No chance to throw it in, and not sure they were going to have a play, but certainly with an arm out there, they may consider throwing it home. Wonder how long they leave Nelson Maldonado in right field.
Well, this should be the last thing that they do. So, I mean, you look at a ball right now, hit down the line in right field or in right center, or over his head. I am sending Colin Lyman from first base. I am sending him all the way home.
Josh Dorse. Brady Singer has now thrown 90 pitches.
And McDonald wondering,
stopping.
Yeah, whether or not Brady Singer's coming to a stop.
Well, he's had 3 balks on the season.
Runner goes. Throw down from Rivera. Good throw.
Oh, he had it.
Oh, and he dropped the ball.
He had him, but he dropped it.
Good throw. The ball was dropped out there by Lippitt at second base.
Lippitt's not in a great position to field this throw at second base. First look, and let's see if the replay shows the same thing. It looked like he was all the way behind second base.
He was behind the bag, got there late. Look where he fields this baseball. Yeah. That's not fundamental baseball at all.
No.
I mean, he's trying to catch it and trying to also avoid the runner right there. He has to be in front of the bag or on the bag.
That throw was good enough to throw him out.
Stores rips one in the left, and that stolen base. Will it pay off? Here's the throw from Langworthy. They hold the runner up, and it's blocked. And Louisville starting to put something together now that they have Brady Singer throwing out of the stretch.
They give up one hit in the first 5 innings. He's given up 5 hits now in the last 2.
And rounding third right here. Watch this. It's 5-1. This is what you have to do. You have to hold him up at third base. That run doesn't mean anything. You can't get yourself out of a rally in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a very good hold at third base. Now you got left on right, third time through. Jake Snyder got a base hit off him last time, so this was a perfect hold, perfect situation right now for Louisville.
Third time through the batting order. We talk about it all the time, but the third time through the batting order often presents challenges for pitchers. 4 hits have been allowed on this third time through.
I take him out.
Right now?
Yeah, I take him out. I take Nelson Maldonado out of right field.
Maldonado,
You
yes.
thought I was talking about the pitcher, right?
Yes.
I was guilty of that too.
I know. I did it on purpose. And again, you're warming up your pen. This is your guy on the mound. I get this. This is perfect. But Maldonado right now, any ball hit, that's 2 runs in the gap. This cannot happen. I'm in shock that he's still out there in right field.
It ended a 24 consecutive scoreless inning streak, and there's Maldonado. He jammed his shoulder earlier in the game, sliding back into third base. And it appears very evident that he's having a real hard time throwing the baseball with any sort of velocity, let alone distance. And all of a sudden, Louisville has strung a double and a couple of singles together in this inning. Jake Snyder already has a single. He hit it to left field his last time up. That was the 6th.
Follow all the way through that front side. Earlier, the finish was there. That pitch would start off the plate, come back over. Right now, he's kind of willing it to that glove side.
3-1. Just what you were talking about.
Well, you end up pulling it. You get tired, you end up pulling it there because you're trying to make that pitch with your arm instead of throwing over your front side and finishing it.
2 arms pumping in the bullpen. Last time they saw Dyson was game 3 of the Super Regionals when he was outstanding. He gave him 5 innings of relief against Wake Forest. He struck out 7 and allowed 2 hits. Cardinals fans getting red in the face cheering on their team. Big 3-1 pitch coming up. Snyder, the 6-foot, 185-pound freshman from Champaign, Illinois. Runner goes. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Pitcher Singer. He gets the ground ball to short. To second, they get the force, then they leave him loaded.